All right, moving into the took portion this week. Whenever, whenever we're dealing with prayer, like obviously, I think the most important thing to do in your class is pray. Um, and it seems ridiculous to me that whenever I was writing this up, I didn't include that. But anyway, um, which phrase of the Lord's Prayer do you think is the hardest to pray, and why? Like have them go through and work through, like, why is this so hard for me? Um, what is there about it that is difficult? Um, how can you fight against that difficulty and go ahead and push through and pray? Pray this in your life. Now, again, we don't. I want you to work with them and bring them along. I don't want you to say you just need to pray it, because there may be underlying reasons, like I mentioned before, like maybe some of them have a hard time praying Our Father uh, who art in heaven. Um, you know, that may be a sticking point for a lot of them. But bring them along, help them understand what each phrase means, and ask them why they have difficulty praying it, and see if you can bring some clarity or maybe some truth into that lie that they might be believing. Excuse me. Um, and then the they had this in the Desiring God lesson, so that's why I put this in here. And they actually said have the students begin working on memorizing the Sermon on the Mount. Well, the Sermon on the Mount is chapters 5 through 7 in Matthew, and so I think we need to get a little bit more attainable goal here, so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. But having them focus just on the Beatitudes there in the Sermon on the Mount, it's just another example of how Jesus focused on heart issues rather than action issues, because heart issues will determine action issues. And so work through that with them several times, but then please take time to pray at the end of this lesson. You know what? You could even go through and pray the Lord's Prayer together, not as an act of ritual, not as an act of um, just closing the lesson, but some of them may have never truly prayed that prayer from their heart before, because they didn't understand all the components and everything that it meant. So I think asking them to pray that prayer together would be really beneficial. But also, have them script a prayer of their own. You could have them maybe rewrite the Lord's Prayer in their own words, um, and make it personal for them. So those are just some ideas for the took portion. Um, but like I said, even though I forgot to include it, please pray and put that into practice in your classroom on Sunday. Um, I think it would be great if maybe you could call one student in your class this week. Um, and if you could do one a day, that would be awesome, but I'm just asking you for one. Call one of them this week and ask them if you can pray with them on the phone. You set the example in their life. Let them listen to you pray. Don't tell them that they have to pray on the phone. Just call them and say, hey, I was thinking about you. Um, what do you need prayer for? And then before you get off the phone with them, pray. And, see if there's any elements, again, this not being a formula for prayer, but the heart of it. See if there's some elements that you can bring out even in your prayer as you pray with them this week on the phone. So I'm so excited about this. And so let me know if you have any questions. I will be happy to go over anything with you. And God bless you this week in class. Thanks.